What if I told you there's a USA company sitting on one of the largest lithium resources in North America? It's backed by a $144 million government grant and is running a commercial scale battery recycling plant already, yet it is trading like a penny stock. Well, that's the story, unfortunately, of American Battery Technology, ticker symbol ABAT. And if you think a few quarterly losses means it's game over, think again, because behind this red ink, there is a massive, and I really do mean massive, green energy opportunity here. In today's video, we're going to break down everything that's happened since December 2024, since my last video, which was in November, the grant win, why the stock popped, why it tanked, what does this dip mean, and why holding this long term could be a massive play. So stay with me.
Yeah. Coincidence. Yeah. Coincidence. Yeah. Coincidence. Something that happens by chance, I think not.
Welcome back everyone to Buy Wholesale. I hope of course you are all well. It's been a long time. I've been doing a lot of things. Scenery's changed. I've moved house. We've been doing a lot of work to the house. We've been buying, we've been flipping, we've been selling, we've been setting up businesses, we've been doing all sorts of things. We've been very, very busy. We haven't forgot about American Battery Technology. Since the last video I was talking about the fact that it was going sideways. About 6 weeks later we got a massive pump, and we're going to go through all of that today, where my position is, and we're going to look at the technical analysis at the end, stuff that I think is worth bringing to your attention now. So let's rewind this all back to December 2024. We've a lot to cover here. December, the stock absolutely rocketed, and that was because the DOE gave a grant of $144 million to American Battery Technology. This was to construct a new lithium ion recycling facility, which is capable of producing 100,000 metric tons per year. That is huge. And those that follow the channel and the lithium plays that we're in, that's a serious amount of lithium being produced. That's 5 times bigger than the current Nevada facility that we currently have, which we're profitable on, might I add, and the market responded immediately with the shares jumping 48% in the day. But like I said, from the lows to the highs, we're up over 300%. It absolutely skyrocketed over $3 a share. They also raised $15 million via a share offering. Look, it's not ideal, but this is what needs to be done, especially growth plays. It needs money to be able to develop these things, and only naturally that they went ahead and did that. So look, you know how I feel with it. As long as the fundamentals are ticking away, you have to expect dilution, you have to expect share raises. It's the only way for the expansion to continue. And yeah, look, it is what it is. Dilution, at the strong pricing point, it was the best time to do it, really. So the good times looked like they were never going to end, and unfortunately they did end with several things happening. But the biggest one, the earnings report came out. Look, no one expected them to be producing huge earnings here. That was never going to be the case. Certainly I didn't expect that, but you kind of expect it to be going in the right direction. Unfortunately, there was 13.4 million of net losses. The headlines obviously spoke for themselves. The market tanked. It wasn't a good report. We can get into the deep part of that, but look, it's a growth company. It's in debt. It's trying to grow. It's not making huge money here, so I can fully understand it. But look, the headlines unfortunately sunk the stock. You have to focus on what they're doing, which is ramping up the production at the Nevada recycling plant, increasing throughout 225% month over month. That is phenomenal. That's the fundamentals we're talking about when it comes to American Battery Technology. As long as those fundamentals keep happening and there's interest from the government in what they're doing, this looks really good for me. And I know people are going to say, and probably drop hate comments and say I'm foolish, but I'm happy enough for that. Revenue from recycled materials hit $332,000, so over $250,000 is being generated from sales. That's great, but unfortunately it cost $2.1 million to make that. That's typical, as I said, early stage operations, costs are front loaded, but margins improve throughout increases. So you want to see that change, you want to see that get better. While it's maybe not out of the ground yet, there is a resource that is worth a lot of potential money, and they're producing. So why can't they upscale that? And that's what they're trying to do. So you have to understand that they're trying to invest more to grow this, because ultimately the more they spend now, the more they'll get back in dividends. They're also constructing a lithium hydroxide refinery with Black and Vic as a lead EPC partner. So they're bringing on partners to help them grow this strategically. Fantastic news as well. And also get this, the US Export Import Bank has given preliminary approval for a $900 million 900 million loan to support these developments, so nearly 1 billion in terms of a loan. And another little thing that just came out, which is always good press, good news, is that they were awarded the Battery Recycling Technology Solution of the Year in April, an industry stamp of validation. So look, it's in the industry, that's a recognised award, and fair play to Ryan and the guys for getting that done as well. Why is the stock down, you ask? Well look, it's down for a few reasons. There's profit taken. Naturally, 300%. People took a lot of profits. This thing had sunk. We talked about it going sideways. A lot of people buying dips and just doing trading. So naturally, big pumps. Every stock, I name you to find one stock that has a big pump like that and doesn't sell off. So that is natural. We talked about the misunderstanding of earnings. It's not that it's misunderstanding, because it was a bad earnings report financially, but it's the longer hold, it's the fundamentals that are in place. That's really what you should be focusing on, in my opinion. Do your own due diligence, not a financial advisor and all that. Also the macro pressures just in general. Not only we're talking about the more recent events with tariffs and what Trump's been doing and all the craziness in Chinese imports, exports, all this mental stuff that's going on right now. There has been pressure on EVs. There's a whole transition happening. Lithium prices have tanked. Growth stocks generally, because of the high interest, are tanking. So there's a lot of political uncertainty and inflation fears. There's just so many different things that are factored into it.
And that brings us on to the charts then. So we were saying we were in this consolidation stage. Things were just going to go sideways, and I suppose for 186 days it pretty much did do that. When I did my video, I think it was the 18th of November, so we were here, and I pretty much said you wouldn't see much lower. It's unlikely to see lower, and it was a good buying opportunity. With no news in sight, it could go sideways for a lot longer, but you did feel that this was a good price. But we did get the news as we discussed, and the thing skyrocketed right up. Now you can see what happened. Sold off massively, right down, right back to the lows of where it was back in November. So that's the thing with this. It's such a long hold that yes, you'll get great news that is optimistic, and then it'll pump, it'll go above the moving averages, it'll start pumping, people will start buying and get caught up in it. But realistically, it was nothing more than that. And I was so tempted to do a video at the time, but I knew deep down it's good news, but they haven't done it yet, and they needed to do it. And I've seen too many of these stocks now that just get pumped on the good news, but that was that, unfortunately, and it sold off. But the positive is we're below the 200-day moving average, but we managed to get back above it, and we are still above it, and we're holding that, which says from 29th of April we're being back in a bull market on American battery technology. So from a technical point of view, this is the strongest we've been in really since back in December. And the reason I'm saying that is because this is a downwards trend. Broke through, down, we're back in. The last time we broke in was the start of this huge run back in December. So let's have a look at the RSI. You can see here the RSI became massively overbought, so that was always selling off. Then we can see the MACD crossed over and went down. If we look at the MACD, you can see right up, right down, crossed over and went up, and we've been on the turn since. It was going down here, but it's starting to turn. So what I'm watching for here, this turns and goes up, we are cooking with gas. The RSI is showing strength, upward trend, which is nice. Get that momentum, get us across, get it pushing. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for these to confirm, to get excited about potentially where this is going. It's very hard to predict these things, but right now with the current economics, I wouldn't be surprised if we pushed on. Not saying it's going to do something mental like this, but continue that upwards trajectory. Almost this big crazy pump got so crazy it sold off. It caused manic selling by people that probably want to hold it. People freaked out, it went down, consolidated, and now it's just gradually, that news is really being digested. Plus December right through to May, we're a good lot of months on now. It's ticking away nicely as we see from the fundamentals in the news. It's just fancy us to push, but again, the wider market, if bad news comes out and the whole markets are sinking, American battery technology are going to fall victim to that 100%.
So the final thoughts really is, this isn't some sort of meme stock. This is something that you should be looking at and investing in seriously for the long term. There is risks with it, of course. It is high risk, it is high reward. It shows you that it can pump on any given day of good news. Fundamentally, this has been ticking away lovely for 5 years. You can see the progress. We didn't have anything, effectively. We didn't even have Ryan at the helm. We've moved so far since Doug Cole stepped down. Ryan's done a fantastic job. It's going to cost money. There is going to be more dilution down the road. Naturally, expect these things, but also expect if they keep hitting fundamentally where their targets are, this thing is going to absolutely skyrocket. I'm so certain of it, but they have to keep doing it fundamentally. In terms of the charts, I've said it in detail there. Hopefully that's been of help. If you are happy to see me back, leave a like. I'll try my best now to start doing more videos. I really have got settled in my new home. I've completely quit my full-time job. I'm going all out on content creation and my own businesses now. It's an exciting time for me. It's been sort of nearly 2 months since I quit, and yeah, I'm starting to get find my feet. So yeah, it's good. I'm looking forward to making more content. We'll be covering a lot more of American battery technology. So yeah, give us a comment down below. What's your thoughts? I'm sure I've missed out loads, like 6 months of summary in a 10-minute video. We're not going to cover it all, but that's the highlights, and I will see you all in the next video.